Say, if at first you get sued and have to pay out $25 million, not only is he dishonest, he's not too bright.
In rain.
Phone call from my man Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy said if Floyd accepts the challenge, that he'll put it on the actual show.
There's no way this man is broke. There's no way.
Yeah.
If he is, I don't know where the money went to.
Exactly.
Floyd Mayweather erupted with fury after Jimmy Kimmel publicly mocked his money-making strategies and penchant for exhibition bouts during a live interview. The comedian ridiculed Mayweather's apparent obsession with cash grabs, a jab that visibly infuriated the boxing legend and left fans stunned by the raw
Posed for this, or was this just...
I guess it's something that they just made up.
Something made up. Do you think they're going to paint over that when it goes as everyone seems to think it's going to go?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. You should buy that gym from him and knock it down with a wrecking ball.
We can do that.
That would be something you could do.
We can do that.
You could potentially make... How much money could you reasonably walk out of this fight with?
350 million.
$350 million.
Yes.
Wow. I know you love money, right? I mean,
it's cool.
Kimmel's blunt and unapologetic questioning only escalated the tension, and as the spotlight dimmed, deeper cracks in Mayweather's otherwise glittering facade began to emerge. Financial experts have long warned that even the richest individuals can falter due to excessive spending, poor investments, and lack of sustainable income streams. Unfortunately for Mayweather, these warnings seem to have turned into...
This is from Instagram. You're on what looks like a private plane, just with a whole...
No, my private plane.
Your private plane, sorry. With a whole lot of money, and it looks like a couple of bowls of ketchup, maybe, also.
No.
Are you eating this money?
Those are cup holders.
Oh, those are cup holders, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have a private plane.
You didn't flew on me.
What do you do with all this money? I mean, like, do you actually use it? I mean, are you using the cash?
And, cash is king.
Do you have an ATM card?
I'm the human ATM.
Recently, Floyd was seen strolling through New York City, pointing out buildings and claiming ownership of multiple properties, all the while projecting an image of ongoing wealth and dominance in real estate. However, investigative reports quickly debunked this narrative. It was revealed that many of the properties Mayweather boasted about were neither in his name nor affiliated with any of his business ventures. This stark contradiction only fueled the growing speculation about his financial stability and the lengths he's going to in order to maintain his public image.
What the hell is going on with Floyd Mayweather, man?
Man, do we got money or not? I don't know what's going on.
I'm lost.
Man, I seen, I think Stephen A was talking about he was bankrupt.
See, I know he came out with this commercial talking about he just invested in this deal that's worth like $402 million that's dealing with 60 apartment buildings.
Yeah, I heard a nigga bought half of New York.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so he walking down the street of New York. Yeah, I own that one.
I seen that too.
So some people reached out to the agencies that he's connected with about this deal, and they said no comment.
Let me say something. I got a question. Niggas is nosy for no reason.
Nosy as hell.
What I'm reaching out to these people about they deal for?
We want to talk to you about the Floyd Mayweather deal. No comment. But they say his name ain't on no paperwork or nothing.
I seen him on something. He look like a bum.
Floyd?
Yeah, he was looking like a bum. Like he ain't shaved in months.
Oh, yeah, I seen that too.
There's no way this man is broke. There's no way.
Yeah.
If he is, I don't know where the money went to.
The scenes, Mayweather has also been dogged by a series of long-standing legal issues. One of the most troubling chapters involves lawsuits filed by former girlfriends, accusing him of emotional mistreatment. These cases have added even more layers of controversy to his already tarnished reputation, which has been mired in past allegations. The details of these lawsuits are extensive, painting a disturbing picture of a troubling pattern of behavior, not isolated incidents. These legal battles continue to haunt him, making it increasingly difficult for Mayweather to separate himself from a history plagued with controversy.
Floyd Mayweather, real quick, okay? So somebody sent me a lawsuit. I gotta go through the details. But apparently, a few of his girls, strippers at Girl Collection are suing him for loss of wages. Okay. Now, I wasn't going to pay attention to this because I was just like, well, how are y'all strippers and you suing him for loss of wages? I'm trying to figure that out. Like, you get your money from the Patreon. What does he have to do with your money? And so somebody put a little bird in my ear. They said this was the beginning of the lawsuit. Okay. They're going to be adding more allegations of harassment and all this stuff. And I was just like, no, hold up. You worked in a club. And so apparently there's more to come. All right. But here's my thing. I was like, the last person that filed a lawsuit against him, alleging anything, where's she at?
In addition to his legal woes, a recent video surfaced showing Mayweather spending enormous sums of money renting luxury mansions, properties he clearly didn't need. His penchant for renting instead of purchasing these opulent homes suggests that the houses are more about appearances than practicality. Critics argue that this lavish lifestyle is a desperate attempt to sustain an image of wealth, one that contradicts the financial acumen Mayweather often claims to possess. The pattern of spending reveals a more reckless...
Floyd Mayweather just signed a deal to lease an apartment in Midtown Manhattan. He's going to be paying $100,000 per month for this place. Here's the apartment, you guys. It's got 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, 4,000 square feet, and the place is pretty epic, I'm not gonna lie. The description says that this is a double unit and it is a corner unit, so you got a ton of natural light in here. Do you think this place is worth $100,000 per month? Why would Floyd spend $100,000 a month on this apartment? If I had to guess, it would be a combination of owning something is just kind of a liability. Plus, I'm pretty sure whenever you rent a place versus buy a place for business purposes, you're able to write off more of that lease payment, so if I had to guess, that $100,000 per month is going to be a pretty big write-off for him based on how he plans to use
this attitude toward money rather than a strategic approach to wealth building. In a bid to manage the damage to his image, Mayweather released a video showcasing his real estate investments across the United States. He emphasized a shift in his financial focus, moving from luxury homes to income-generating commercial properties. This was presented as part of a broader investment.
Floyd Money Mayweather is at it again. This time, not in the ring, but in the real estate market. The undefeated boxing champ just sold his Miami Beach mansion for a jaw-dropping $22 million. Let's break down the numbers and see why Floyd's still living up to his nickname. Mayweather originally bought this stunning waterfront property in 2021 for $18 million. Fast forward 3 years and he's walking away with a cool $4 million profit. Not bad, right? And here's a fun twist. The buyer is taking on a $13 million mortgage, which comes with monthly payments of nearly $99,000. Now, let's talk about the mansion itself. It's a 3-story masterpiece, spanning over 9,000 square feet, with 9 bedrooms and 3.5 bathrooms. But the amenities? Next level. A 5,000 square foot
intended to reassure the
rooftop
public
with
that his sales
panoramic
of high-end properties were part of a calculated financial strategy. However, this attempt at damage control was far from foolproof. In 2017, Mayweather tried to silence critics in dramatic fashion by waving around a $100 million uncashed check from his historic fight against Manny Pacquiao. The gesture was meant to prove that his wealth remained intact. The uncashed check, however...
He's like the Floyd Mayweather of the MMA, the UFC.
I didn't know Conor McGregor was undefeated. I didn't know that he had a reign in MMA for 20 years and undefeated, and was world champion in 5 different weight classes. That's something I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I guess you guys telling me something new. If you say he's the Floyd Mayweather of the MMA.
What do you
I mean, if you say he's the Floyd Mayweather of the MMA, I'm trying to find out. Have you ever made $300 million in one night? Have you ever made $100 million in one night? Have you ever made $70 million in one night? So, as far as trying to say that he's the Floyd Mayweather of MMA, I mean, it's okay to just to say it, but it's not true. Legend, a living legend. You know, I gave to the sport of boxing. I gave years and years of hard work. It was blood, sweat, and tears. Had a tremendous team. Had a tremendous run. I think that it's time for Conor McGregor need to go out there and do what he do. But never compare Conor McGregor to me. That's a total disrespect. I mean, once again, I'm an elephant. Elephant don't beef with ants. You know, elephant is so large you don't even see ants.
However, left many questioning why such a large sum of money remained untouched. Mayweather defended his extravagant lifestyle as the well-earned reward of years, spent clawing his way to the top. He frequently reminds audiences that he rose from poverty, and for him, flaunting wealth is not a sign of arrogance, but a form of motivation. Yet, boxing legend Mike Tyson once commented that Mayweather's obsession with self-praise bordered on delusion. Tyson's critique mirrors the sentiments of many fans and fellow athletes who view Mayweather's constant displays of wealth, especially during times of global economic hardship, as tone-deaf and narcissistic rather than inspirational. Mayweather's.
What lessons do you think Pacquiao and Mayweather could learn from you in terms of life away from the ring?
Well, Floyd seems to be going through some stuff like me right now, you know, like realizing no one's his friend and everybody's probably, even though I even hate to say it, because maybe everybody's kind of a little jealous of him, you know, because he is Floyd Mayweather. I know these other guys got their money, but this guy is the champ of the world. You know, it's hard to compete with that. So he's pretty big on those scales as far as on the celebrity scale. So he's gonna realize what life is all about, what friends are all about, and realize that we only have a few of them, and sometimes they're the only ones we got. They may not be the ones we want, but they're the ones we have. You know, sometimes we want to have glorious, glamorous friends, but they don't want to be our friends.
The need to assert his financial superiority came to the forefront again when he compared his earnings to those of Anthony Joshua. He proudly boasted about making $74 million in gate revenue without needing massive crowds. While the statement may have been technically accurate, the defensive tone behind his words raised eyebrows. Analysts interpreted this comment as another example of Mayweather's jealousy, his incessant need to assert his dominance over newer, younger fighters gaining popularity. Oscar.
He said in particular, and then there was also some footage that dropped a couple hours ago on IFL TV that, you know, is the reason I'm making this video. He made some comments about Anthony Joshua and compared, you know, I guess, you know, his, you know, because, you know, he talks about his money a lot. So he compared, like, I guess, his fight with Pacquiao to Anthony Joshua. And he was saying, like, you know, basically they didn't need 100,000 or 90,000 people to do X amount of dollars. You know, here, I'm going to let you listen to it. Here's what he had to say verbatim. Here's what Floyd said about Anthony Joshua.
Talk about that. I was in the Guinness Book of World Record for breaking all the records. You didn't tell them that?
Of course you have.
for generating, what, billions in the sport of boxing? That, or having the fastest sellout crowd? But I mean, and, you know, those guys done, you know. And I was watching a fight when I was at my Miami house. I was at my Miami home. I was watching a fight with Klitschko and the guy Joshua, and they said that this is electrifying, sort of like the Pacquiao and Mayweather. And I said, well, we didn't have to have all those hundreds of thousands to do a $74 million gate. So, and like I said before, but those guys put on a hell of a show. Like I said before, you know, I'm just on another planet. And you definitely know it. Because you've been around for years. And you see the same thing over and over and over again.
All right, so there you have it. Mayweather basically saying that, you know, he's on another planet and all this stuff, and that, you know, they didn't need 90,000 people and all this stuff. But, I mean, let's look at it like this.
De La Hoya, Mayweather's longtime rival, has long accused him of hypocrisy. De La Hoya pointed out that while Mayweather frequently mocks YouTubers and social media fighters like Ryan Garcia, he himself has made millions by exploiting the same audiences. Mayweather has made a fortune off exhibition bouts against social media personalities while criticizing others who do the same. This apparent contradiction has led many to question Mayweather's own integrity.
Talking about this kid Ryan Garcia. Tank got his followers from kicking ass. Ryan Garcia got his followers from YouTubers. There's a difference. So you want to be a YouTuber or you want to be a fighter? Tank is a fighter.
What the fuck? So Ryan Garcia's not a fighter? He's been fighting since he was 7 years old. He has 200 plus amateur fights. I don't care where his followers come from, if they come from fucking Mars. The fact is that Ryan's followers are selling this fight. And plus, don't you remember you fought YouTubers? Are you putting YouTubers down? You profited from them. I can't with you, dude. You're fucking dumbass. I can't wait. April 22nd, Ryan Garcia fucking knocking out Tank Davis.
As he continues to mock others while profiting from the same ventures. De La Hoya and others believe that Mayweather is simply desperate for attention and money. His frequent media appearances, controversial statements, and ongoing feuds appear to be timed specifically to reignite public interest. Since retiring from professional boxing, Mayweather has taken part in exhibition matches, easy paydays against non-professionals, YouTubers, and MMA fighters.
Floyd is somebody since I'm 8 years old. This was my idol. It is a tremendous honor, but make no mistake, June 11th, I'm bringing bad intentions to that man, and I don't care if an exhibition or not. You signed to fight me, it's no quarter, so it's kill or be killed.
another big event. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a crazy crowd. I'm pretty sure, but I've been here so many times. You know, I've been fighting since 1987 to now, so I know what it takes when, you know, at any level. So I'm just happy to be here.
I watched every one of his fights. I've never seen anybody throw combinations with the intent and the speed and the accuracy of that man, and I was captivated that night on. So I've been Team Mayweather since I'm 9 years old, but like I said, when it's time to get to business, we're gonna get to business. We're gonna fight.
I will continue to have fun, entertain, until I'm ready to say, you know what, enough is enough.
Battles with minimal risk, but enormous profits. Mayweather defends these matches as just fun, but critics argue that they degrade the sport and reduce boxing to a cheap spectacle. Oscar De La Hoya specifically criticized Mayweather's exhibition match against John Gotti III, calling it an embarrassment and a stain on his once glorious legacy. De La Hoya urged Mayweather to stop these spectacles before they irreparably harm his reputation.
Floyd Mayweather fought another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're going to have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro.
The ongoing feud between Mayweather and rapper 50 Cent has also taken another turn. Jimmy Kimmel joked on air about giving Mayweather a reading challenge, referencing the infamous moment when 50 Cent dared Mayweather to read a page of Harry Potter. Clips of Mayweather struggling to read only fueled rumors about his literacy, casting a shadow on his intelligence. Mayweather shrugged off the criticism, stating, "Reading doesn't define success," but the remark became another talking point used to question his credibility. Beyond these personal controversies, Mayweather's criminal record includes several convictions and arrests, painting a stark contrast to the polished image he seeks to maintain in the public eye. With so many red flags, it is a...
Will Smith just publicly thanked Floyd Mayweather, but a lot of people are calling him out for that. And where it all began was right after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, which Will Smith said almost ended his career. With Will Smith apologizing, getting a 10-year ban from the Oscars, and he said many celebrities would not return his calls. And the only exception was Floyd Mayweather, who called up Will Smith every day for 10 days straight. With Will Smith saying that the only reason Floyd Mayweather called was just because he wanted to make sure he was okay. And Will Smith said before that he only met Floyd Mayweather a couple times before, calling him an acquaintance, but now would call him a friend for life. I don't think Will Smith should be saying this because Floyd Mayweather was arrested in 2002 for punching 2 women at his nightclub. And due to that, he had a 1-year suspended jail sentence in 2004. And then he was arrested again for assaulting a bouncer at a nightclub, getting another 90-day suspended sentence. Then was arrested for beating up his ex-girlfriend Josie Harris, which his son, when he was 10 years old, testified against his father, saying he was assaulting his mother. So Will Smith is not a bad guy, but clearly made a mistake at the Oscars, and it's not a good idea for him to go befriend Floyd Mayweather. Because life's ultimately about who you associate with, and with that, I'm Charles Pearl. I hope you learned something.
Astonishing that he continues to operate so publicly, without facing greater scrutiny. Boxing icon Roy Jones Jr. recently criticized Mayweather's legacy, claiming that his approach to the sport shifted its priorities from building a lasting legacy to chasing profits. Jones noted that Floyd's focus on wealth over honor had changed the culture of boxing, something that resonates with many disillusioned fans who once viewed Mayweather as a symbol of success and invincibility. Despite his undefeated 50-0 record and massive earnings, Mayweather's image is slowly unraveling. Accusations, lawsuits, extravagant spending, and questionable behavior have caused many to seriously question his legacy.
Not because he did a great job, but he did it for himself, and it worked for him. But everybody now wants the Mayweather concept, because Mayweather made so much money, staying undefeated, waiting till the right time to fight Pacquiao, finding the right people to fight at the right time. He monopolized the business. But the problem was, it only made him money and the people he was fighting. It didn't make money for the whole sport. So what he did himself a great job, but it hurt the sport. Because not everybody wants to fight, stay undefeated. You understand me? Me, it's like when 2 guys get here, they gotta meet. No, wait. They was here 5 years ago. Yeah. They should have met. You understand me? Because now, we probably could have got 3 good fights out of it. You understand me? But because we waited too long, The problem what people don't understand is tomorrow's not promised to nobody.
Adding to the mounting pressure, Mayweather now faces a serious challenge as allegations of a $42 million theft by a trusted security figure begin to shake the foundations of his empire. As investigations continue, fans and critics alike are beginning to wonder whether Mayweather's empire is as untouchable as it once seemed. Floyd, Mayweather's once unshakable reputation, is crumbling under the weight of growing scandals, lies, and questionable decisions. From shady investments to the degradation of his sport through exhibition bouts, his credibility is taking major hits. Once respected for his unmatched skill and unrivaled success, he is now seen by many as a fallen icon, desperately clinging to relevance. Exposed.
Big Church being from Vegas, he had, went back to Vegas and Floyd had picked him up. And so it was around late December. He had hit me and said, "Hey man, Floyd is getting rid of one of his dudes. If I can get you over here, would you want to work?" And it, just me wanting to change the pace at the time, I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah." So Floyd was coming down to play in a celebrity game with the Team Watson. And so it was like December 14th or something like that. So I asked one of the dudes to cover me, and I went over to the Van Nuys airport and met him. And so, Church had already told him about me. Big Mark, rest in peace, had told him about me. And so when I met him at the airport, he got off the plane. He looked me up and down, was like, "Big Church, you good?" And he's like, Church was like, "Hell yeah." He's like, "Big Mark, you good?" He's like, "Hell yeah." He's like, "All right, he on." Yeah. So I started with Mayweather December 28th, 2007.
The fragile empire he's built. As the cracks in his legacy continue to deepen, the world watches to see how Mayweather will navigate this turbulent chapter in his life. Please subscribe for more unique videos. Thank you.